Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 420 of the Ping Pong Flick Show. Let's start off with a Godzilla vs. Kong update. This is coming from Gormaro or at Omega Gormaro at on Twitter. And it's in concerns to Alexander Skarsgård's his details about his character. Apparently, he revealed this that he's a geologist, works closely with Kong, and what I liked about my character was he's terrified. He's not brave, he's not equipped to be a leader or a hero, and he enters this adventure very reluctantly. So, the first thing I got out of this was like, wait a minute, I thought it was a bad guy. I mean, I remember explicitly that they talked about him being a bad guy, but also it could be something that we got from one of those trailer descriptions where he was appearing like a bad guy going into a fortress or something, but apparently not, and we got information here or something, and it sounds like he's not a bad guy. In fact, he almost sounds like Tarzan, right? But not a geologist Tarzan, but like a person who is reluctant to be a hero and works closely with apes, and it doesn't sound like a bad guy at all. But whether how this concerns and how he's able to maybe be Kong's buddy, I guess, in a way, and help him, maybe even is the instigator to have Kong fight Godzilla, maybe, right? I mean, it could be the same reason why maybe he was able to get Kong not to go out and fight Godzilla, because of the orca that the scientists were using, that he has his own version of that, but for just Kong, possibly communicating with Kong. So, I mean, I'm just going through different theories here and there, but that is an interesting take on that character. For one, I thought he was a bad guy, but I guess he's not. He's definitely playing another scientist in this movie. Whether he's in relation to Monarch or not, we shall see when the movie comes out next year. Okay, now let's get back to the DC or DCEU. First with DC. This is coming from Luis Fernando. From Monday to Wednesday, Joker grossed impressive $38.2 million internationally for a $392.9 million cum, beating Man of Steel $377 million overseas. Should be to Wonder Woman, Justice League, Suicide Squad overseas by today. Global box office cum is $606.7 million. Should be JL globally tonight. MOS, Man of Steel on Saturday. Incredible legs for Joker for a movie that only really cost, what, $50+ million to make, and for a movie that was so attacked by the media. It actually, that bad word of bad controversy actually was good word of mouth to this movie. People really went to see it, and to behold, they went and saw it and thought, this is good. What are the critics talking about? And so I'm very happy and very glad. This is an excellent movie. I'm happy that people are going back and watching this thing. And then beating out Justice League is such a great thing. It just shows that the amount of money they tore that movie apart, and now a movie that they let a director do whatever he wanted is beating that film by committee, is such a winning thing. And it just goes to show that if you put your effort, put your put all your chips into the directors, after you agreed upon everything, after you agreed upon the project, you let the director do what he wants, it could be a successful film. But you want to know, you wouldn't know if you hadn't ruined it, right? So it's just like Suicide Squad and JL. It's crazy. It's just totally crazy. And I'm really happy for Joker. And hopefully this puts it like sealed, done, a deal that this is not what they're going to do from now on. They're not going to touch these directors' films from now on. And once you agree on something, let the director make that movie, damn it. So, great. Congratulations, Joker. And I can't wait to see where this ends up. Is it going to be $1 billion? Who knows? Could be. Now, the next thing is the Batman. Now, we have a lot of different people being cast in the Batman. There's costume designers for the Batman. But what about the music? One of the biggest things about, especially for me, is that it's got to have a great soundtrack for a film, right? It's got to have a great composer. And it seems today it's been confirmed that Michael Giacchino is going to compose the score for Matt Reeves' The Batman. And he did this in London today. This is the video. Now, you can't hear anything, but apparently Matt Reeves came on stage while Michael Giacchino was going to perform the Cloverfield Suite, and he proposed to Michael Giacchino to please score the Batman for me, and Michael Giacchino said yes. Poor Godzilla, though, I don't know what's going on there. He just walked off, but I think he was just there as a prop because they're going to play the Cloverfield Suite, which is like an homage to the original Godzilla theme, which is probably one of my favorite scores in recent memory, and Michael Giacchino scored that. I don't like all of his work, but the one most memorable ones for me is how he scored the new Star Trek movies, how he scored the Apes movies, and of course how he scored Cloverfield. I think those really are stand out to me amongst the many movies that he scored, mostly Disney films, but it's very whimsical at sometimes, using a lot of orchestra, and it doesn't have that Hans Zimmer, Harry Gregson Williams, Rupert Gregson Williams kind of feel and score to it, but I think it would definitely match a detective noir type of film that what they're saying Matt Reeves the Batman will be. So I think it would fit properly with that type of story that they're trying to tell, and I think it could really, really work. So, but we'll have to wait and see when we actually watch the Batman. Next thing, and an update to the Aquaman 2 news from yesterday. The Uproxx interviews actually reached out to Abdul Mateen, and he actually also confirmed that Aquaman 2 is happening. It is happening, and we can look for that, I believe, in 2022. He also said, so I'm excited to be part of that. Black Manta will be back, and hopefully he'll be causing a lot more trouble than he did in the first one, which is not surprising at all. We really did think that Black Manta was going to come back. He was alive and well at the end of the Aquaman film, and it kind of just hinted that he's going to be a bigger part of Aquaman 2. As you know, we see King Orm taken away to prison. Maybe Black Manta will bust him out and he'll try to wreak havoc again. Who knows what's going to happen in Aquaman 2. But if you're a big fan of Black Manta, I'm a big fan of Black Manta, we'll be happy to see that he's going to come back and wreak some more havoc. Maybe even be the lead villain for Aquaman 2. Although I still think that family thing about the two brothers and with the mom, though I think maybe the mom will pass away, kind of like Thrones of Atlantis, and that could really make Aquaman go nuts and crazy and fight with King Orm and stuff like that. There's a lot of great dramatic beats that could happen with that tragedy. You know, I would feel really bad for Aquaman's parents if they passed away, but a lot of times these heroics and drama really comes from tragedy, and which is very apparent in a lot of DC stories with dealing with parents. So I think that could be could happen with this Aquaman 2 as well. We'll have to wait and see when it comes out in 2022. Now, finally tonight, Dwayne Johnson actually came out on Twitter thanking someone for their Black Adam sculpture right here, which is really awesome, by the way, because it kind of does that's hopefully maybe Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson will look like that, or even something similar. But Dwayne Johnson also said this on Twitter: very cool, man, thank you, amazing detail. This project has been with me for over 10 years. Production begins this July. Appreciate the support. Hashtag Black Adam, hashtag DC, which is very much just confirming that production will start this coming July 2020. It's finally being made since he's been cast for I don't know how many years. He said 10 years. I thought it was smaller than that, but it's been with him for this long. He's finally gonna start shooting. He's finally gonna start putting on the suit. He's finally gonna get to be Black Adam, and hopefully one day we can see Black Adam fight against Shazam. But the one that I'm really interested in is Black Adam fighting Henry Cavill Superman. Let's make it happen. And I think with Dwayne Johnson, with his agents, who are the same agents as Henry Cavill, I think they can make a deal work, and I think they could eventually make that happen. So all great for Dwayne Johnson and his rep and agents, and hopefully Henry Cavill can join that battle as well. All right, well, one last thing, and this is just a very huge tinfoil. I don't mean to put any hope up or anything like that, or trying to suggest anything, but Sean O'Connell was at New York. And why is he at New York? He was there at some private screening or private meeting at the Warner Media offices at New York, and it could be anything. Undoubtedly, and a lot of people were suggesting maybe he's the Snyder Cut or something like that. Calm down. Sean O'Connell did confirm that it is not about the Snyder Cut or anything like that, so don't get too excited, which I believe it probably maybe is or is not. Doesn't matter. The best part is that he's there, and the best part is that he's for the Snyder Cut, and the best part is that because he's there, maybe he can ask around, maybe snoop here and there, maybe bring up the question about the Snyder Cut, something like that. And if he can, maybe he'll reveal that one day. But he's there. He's probably closer than any of us right now in the Snyder Cut movement to finding out if they really are going to release the Snyder Cut, if the Ann Sarnoff's offices are flooded with letters or not. He'll be the one to know, and probably he'd be the one to ask at that point. So hopefully, crossing our fingers, it's some good news. All right, guys. Well, that is it for tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.